Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to create one more user flow. I think the most important one that I really want to get to is finding the right product through search. Now this one is a huge one. So we have this one over here, and literally I'm just going to duplicate it. So it's going to duplicate beside it by pressing Command D or Control D, and you can bring that down. That is exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to jump right into here, and I'm going to start naming this one. So you can name it anything you want. We could just call it search or something like that. Let's get a little bit more specific with the name. Okay. Finding the right product through search. Now, search is very, very key to a lot of products' success when it comes to like e-commerce, or when it comes to, just searching for different types of products, search results for knowledge sharing. When you think about like things like Google, I mean, there's a lot of UX work that goes into that. And I just want to kind of build out that flow a bit. Think about all the different scenarios that are possibilities, and just go through that with you. So you can either just follow along with me, or you can actually start building some design. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I have a duplicate here, so we can just start from that. Now, when I think of search, like where does it start? So step one, I'm going to start writing some details because it's the way I personally work. You can just start visually. I like to just start from just writing down what I think is like the job to be done here by the user. So when I think about like search, the user is able to begin that search from like the home screen. So begin their search from the home screen. The user can click the search input. Okay, and then we can put together like a quick home screen. We could repurpose this button to be at the very top. Maybe this image is like a header of some sort of like some big, product maybe. What else is there? There may be some more products. Let's go to our assets. So I'm going to zoom out a bit. I'm going to grab these assets over here and bring them right beside. At least for now. Oops, I'm zooming in and out so much. And here we go. So we have more products. This is like just me quickly building a home screen. Maybe there's some smaller products too. And there we go. That's our search. And okay, so now that we've clicked search, what do we think is going to happen? So we need to think about like every little detail. I mean, step two, I think the user receives a keyboard prompt. So I'll even go into sometimes like little details like this as to how certain interactions should perform. And you don't need to do this for everything. I like to do it for the most important types of interactions that maybe users really need outlined because they have such high traffic. Not like, okay, the button is clicked and then it hovers and does a spin and then jumps out at you. I don't know. Like those types of micro interactions, I don't think you really need to worry about. I like to do certain things like this where the interaction is more like a multi-step interaction. So an example is, the user receives a keyboard prompt within a search overlay and is able to enter their search. So this is pretty standard as well, I think. Maybe we'll just remove this and we'll start fresh. Like maybe the search is still at the top, and maybe there's this massive keyboard prompt that comes from the bottom. And now we can just play with auto layout a bit. Instead of packed, I want them to be separated. So I'm going to go and do space between. So yeah, this kind of does look like a keyboard prompt that comes out. And I'm going to just make it blue as well. This can be like secondary, like you can still click on it in some way, shape, or form, but this is the main interaction that's happening. And then step three. So now this is what I'm talking about. Like, let's get into the details here. So as the user types, the product gives the user suggestions for potential searches. So think about like type aheads and stuff like that. The user can click on the search item that relates to their intended search. So I'm thinking about a couple different things here, to be honest. I have this screen. I'm actually going to delete this entirely and just duplicate this screen and drag it over, because I think this one's going to actually work well. So this is maybe like secondary now. And what we have is, I don't know, let's think here. Let's steal this. So we have these rectangles, and that's going to be kind of like our list items. So we're going to set it to fill. So there's like some sort of subheading. We're gonna just copy and paste it, Command C or Control C, and the same for adding the paste is Control or Command V. And we have a bunch of different items here. Maybe that's too many. It doesn't really matter. But let's see. And then over here, we'll just make this like blue. So they're going to click on this. Now you can make another flow where they just click, or you can do a branch here. Like instead of clicking the type ahead, they just click enter on the keyboard, and then it goes to the same place. Ultimately, I mean, it's basically the same flow, and I'm not sure it's worthwhile to think through that too much. But step 4, I think the user is then presented with many search results. And then this is where you can branch again. Maybe there are no search results. What happens then? How do we get them back to searching? So these are the types of scenarios that you're going to need to think through. And they choose the product they have been looking for. Okay, so I think we can actually reuse some of this stuff over here maybe, or maybe we can use like these types of pieces. So I'm actually going to delete everything that's in this frame, and I'm going to start fresh. So maybe there's like tons of search results. Maybe we still have that search at the very top that's easily accessible. And then we have like maybe our step 5 here, where the user is then like finally in the product page. So the user is now able to review the product that they had searched for and can decide if they want to add the item to their cart. So this is a very important step as well, because this is actually the end, right? Like this is our goal, and we've found the right product through the goal. So what does this screen look like? I mean, I think it's maybe very similar here, where it's like there is, let's go to our assets. I think we have like, oh, there we go. We can use that. So this looks like kind of like a product page now. And maybe there's like this big add to cart button or something. I don't know. I think it doesn't really matter right now, but this is essentially maybe how the flow plays out. And essentially that is what it is like to create like a user flow for finding the right product through search. So remember, get into those nitty-gritty details. Think about the optional routes users can take, because if you do not, you're going to have a lot of trouble trying to design later for solutions that you should have been thinking about way more earlier in the process. I know we all love to jump right into like creating nice UI designs and whatnot, but take some time to think about some of the more important user flows.